All right, everybody. So we're going to look at the difference between the VIX 1D, which came out a few weeks ago, the SIBO launched, which, got to remember, it's just a measurement. It's a metric. It's not tradable. It is just a metric versus the VIX regular. Okay, and what the difference is. So the regular VIX that everybody follows all the time, has been around for 30 years, currently is 1762, and you can see it's barely changed on the day. In fact, it's down from where it was this morning. And here's the reason why, and here is what the difference is between the VIX and the VIX 1 day. So the regular VIX calculates implied vol 30 days in the future for the S&P. And in its calculation, it takes S&P options with expiration of 23 to 37 days in the future and aggregates them, goes into the model, and that's how we get a VIX calculation. And it's interesting because what you will see today is that early this morning, VIX was almost hit 18, and as the market has just kind of lagged and languished and volume is nothing today, the VIX has just gradually grinded its way lower to where we are right now. But again, remember, this is representative of 30-day future implied vol. Now, let's compare that to today's VIX 1 day. Okay, the VIX 1 day, which again, new measurement that just came out, a few weeks ago. And what you can see here is early this morning, actually down a little bit. An hour into the day, the VIX 1 day was actually down. But as the day progressed, even with the market being so calm and no volume and just little activity, this thing is spiking. When I say spiking, we're talking up 40% today. Okay? So the reason for that is the way that the VIX 1 day is calculated. So unlike the regular VIX, which takes options, again, 23 to 37 days in the future, aggregates them, and goes into the model, the VIX 1 day uses 0 DTE options. Okay, so options expiring today. But it's not that simple. Okay, so at the start of the day, the VIX 1 day calculation was comprised of all options expiring at the end of the day today. Well, what's happened today? Nothing, right? There was no big economic news, couple earnings this morning, but nothing really to affect the market so much today. However, why would this increase so much during the day with nothing going on in the market? And the reason is the way that the VIX 1 day is calculated. And the way it's calculated is as the day progresses, what happens is the 0 DTEs from today start to come out of the calculation. And 0 DTEs or options expiring tomorrow start to gradually come into the equation. And the further and further throughout the day we go, the closer we get to the end of the day today, the more that calculation shifts from using today's expiring 0 DTE options to using all of tomorrow's. So that by the end of the day today at 3 o'clock Central Time, the 1 day VIX calculation will be using all of tomorrow's expiring options in the S&P. So what's happening tomorrow? Well, we've got a CPI number in the morning tomorrow. So that is why we're seeing tomorrow's expiring options much more expensive than today's. And if we look at the difference, the variance between implied vol at the money and the S&P expiring today, which is, here we are right here, about 17% or so, to where that is for tomorrow's expiring options at the money, we're seeing those are close to 20% implied vol. Now, 17 to 20 may not seem like a real big difference, but when you look at it in terms of a percentage increase, that's like almost an 18% pop or difference in implied vol between today's expiring at the money options in the S&P and tomorrow's. So the reason that we're seeing that one-day VIX gradually grind higher throughout the day today is because of the fact that the model starts to gradually take away today's expiring options, add in tomorrow's. So I would expect tomorrow, after the news is out, after the CPI news is out in the morning, barring any big outside number where the market makes a massive move one way or the other, I would expect that you would see this curve today flatten out and kind of almost reverse itself tomorrow, and then maybe as we get closer and closer to the end of the day tomorrow, end of the day on Thursday, we may start to see this type of pattern again because we've got a PPI print, I believe, on Friday morning. So again, that is why we're seeing this big disparity or big difference in the slope of the curve between today's VIX one day and the regular VIX today. All right, guys, just wanted to explain that to everybody. I know it can be confusing, but we will always try and make things as easy as possible to understand. We will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.